Voices from the Shadows. Recent survivor testimonies. Aminata Minsidi escaped slavery in March 2024 after 32 years of bondage that began the day she was born. Her master's family owned her mother and grandmother before her in an unbroken chain of hereditary servitude that stretched back generations. Aminata worked 18-hour days caring for livestock and maintaining her master's compound while receiving nothing more than scraps of food and worn clothing. She slept on the ground outside the family's house regardless of weather conditions. When she developed a severe respiratory infection in 2023, her master refused medical treatment because he considered the cost unnecessary for someone he viewed as property. Aminata finally escaped when activists from enclaves contacted her through a mobile phone smuggled to her by a sympathetic neighbor. She now lives in a refugee settlement outside Nouakchott, where she struggles to understand concepts like personal choice and individual rights that were completely absent from her previous existence. Children born into slavery face psychological damage that extends far beyond physical abuse, because they develop no concept of personal autonomy or human dignity. 12-year-old Musa has never attended school and cannot comprehend why other children his age play games or pursue interests of their own choosing. He was assigned to herd goats from age 6 and believes this represents his natural purpose in life. When asked about his dreams for the future, Musa responds with confusion because the concept of personal aspirations remains completely foreign to him. His vocabulary includes no words for concepts like career, education, or personal achievement. Activists report that children like Musa require years of intensive counseling before they can begin to understand that they possess individual worth and potential beyond serving their masters. Women who escape sexual slavery and forced breeding programs carry trauma that compounds the already devastating effects of lifelong bondage. Maryam Mint Ahmed was selected at age 14 by her master's son for forced reproduction and bore 6 children over the next 15 years while continuing her regular work duties. She received no medical care during pregnancies and was expected to return to full labor within days of giving birth. 3 of her children died in infancy from preventable illnesses that went untreated because her master considered medical expenses wasteful. Maryam was beaten severely when she showed grief over her children's deaths because her master believed enslaved people should not display emotions about family losses. After escaping in 2024, Maryam discovered that 2 of her surviving children had been sold to other families without her knowledge. Modern technology has become another tool for maintaining control over enslaved populations in ways that previous generations of slave owners could never have imagined. Enslaved people report that their masters monitor their mobile phone conversations and social media activity when they gain access to these technologies. Owners use GPS tracking applications to monitor the movements of enslaved people who work outside their immediate compounds. Social media platforms help slave owners locate and recapture individuals who attempt to escape by posting their photographs and offering rewards for information about their whereabouts. Failed escape attempts result in punishments designed to terrorize other enslaved people and prevent future escape efforts. Yusuf Ould Mohammed attempted to flee his master's compound in 2023, but was recaptured within 3 days by local police, who returned him without investigating his claims of enslavement. His master beat him with metal cables and denied him food for 2 weeks as punishment. Other enslaved people on the property were forced to witness these beatings as a warning against similar attempts. Yusuf's master also increased his workload and assigned him the most dangerous tasks as ongoing punishment for his escape attempt. Religious indoctrination serves as a primary tool for psychological control, as enslaved people are taught that their bondage represents divine will that cannot be questioned without committing blasphemy. Masters regularly conduct religious instruction sessions where they explain that slavery reflects natural social hierarchies ordained by God. Enslaved people are told that attempting to change their status demonstrates lack of faith and will result in eternal punishment. These religious teachings are reinforced through selective readings of Islamic texts that emphasize obedience and submission, while omitting passages that emphasize human dignity and equality. When international investigators or journalists arrive in areas where slavery is concentrated, enslaved people are hidden through elaborate deception schemes that local communities actively support. Enslaved individuals are moved to remote camps or temporary shelters where outsiders cannot locate them. Local residents receive advance warning about visiting investigators and coordinate their responses to deny knowledge of slavery practices. Community leaders organize welcome ceremonies and cultural displays that distract visitors from investigating actual living conditions in their areas. Survivors consistently emphasize that meaningful change requires complete transformation of economic and social structures rather than limited legal reforms or awareness campaigns. They argue that slavery persists because it remains profitable and socially acceptable among powerful groups who benefit from unpaid labor. Real change would require land redistribution, educational opportunities, economic alternatives for slave-owning families, and fundamental shifts in cultural attitudes about human worth and dignity. Most survivors express cautious hope that international pressure might eventually force these changes, though they doubt whether current efforts address the root causes that make slavery possible.